Hey guys, Static here. So I was planning on doing the final episode of the Zombie Shooting Gallery Build With Me series today, but as you all know, the 1.6 update came out just recently, and that's meant that a whole bunch of aspects of the shooting range aren't working at the moment. So that means that the last episode is going to be delayed quite a bit while I try and figure out how to get it all working again. So bear with me with that. The last episode will be coming out in the next few weeks, hopefully, but I do need some time to get that working. So did want to do a tutorial today though, and in the spirit of the 1.6 update, thought I'd do a 1.6 themed tutorial. So as we know, mushrooms now spread, which means that it's possible to make mushroom farms. And since mushroom stew heals more hearts than cooked pork chops do, I think a mushroom farm would be a great addition to any base. So today I'm just going to teach you how to make one quick version. Um, Keep in mind that it's only new, so this is by no means a perfect system, and there are ways to improve the system. So by all means, if you think that there's a better way to do something, go for it and let me know. But yeah, I thought I'd show you my take on a mushroom farm really quickly. So to make this farm, all you're going to need, guys, is some assorted tools as usual, a few mushrooms, whichever ones you want to plant, 2 buckets of water, some stone slabs, some torches for while you're building, a couple of trapdoors, 2 or 3 ladders, and a wooden pressure plate. Now I'm also a little bit OCD, so I'm going to use some dirt for the floor as well, but mushrooms grow on pretty much any surfaces, so feel free to use stone or pretty much whatever you want. So there are a couple of mushroom farm videos already up on YouTube. All they really consist of at the moment is a big empty dark room with mushrooms planted. Now the problem with that is that if you're not playing on peaceful mode, you might get mobs spawning in your farm, which it's no fun sort of going into your farm to collect mushrooms only to get attacked. That's kind of the opposite of what we want. We want to be healing hearts, not damaging them. Jiggly Jello from the forums did come up with somewhat of a solution to that by digging or cutting out potholes in the roof and then putting torches up there, which only lets minimal light down into the room so mushrooms don't pop out of the ground. However, minimal light does not stop mobs from spawning, it just lowers the chance that mobs will spawn in a room. So even though you won't get mobs spawning in your farm as much then, you will still get mobs spawning. So the goal of this is to create, the goal of this tutorial is to create a 100% mob-proof mushroom farm. Now to start with, all you need to do is figure out where you want to have your mushroom farm. So I'm going to be making mine in this room here. Once you've got your room or your place picked, now you don't need to build it underground, you can make it on the surface if you want to or in your house somewhere. Once you've got your room sorted, what you want to do is dig the floor down by 2 blocks. So this way it'll look like the door is 2 blocks too high, but that's exactly what you want and you'll see why in a moment. So I'm going to quickly do that off camera and as well as that replace the ground with dirt. Alright, so with that done guys, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to divide this room in half. That way I can have brown mushrooms on one side and red mushrooms on the other. This also makes the waterworks a lot less complicated, so that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so for my farm that I'm making here, just in case you're curious, there is 4 blocks on this side of the center line, 4 blocks on the other side, so that makes the room 9 blocks wide. And the room is 13 blocks long. Now the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to make 2 pads in this room, one up this end of the room and one up the far end of the room, and the pads are going to be 6 blocks long, so you want to count 6 blocks out, and then at the 7th block you want to just dig down. We're going to dig a channel. This is where we're going to collect our mushrooms once they're harvested, just like that. Alright, so next we're going to be laying our floor. Now the way that you want to do this, you want to lay the floor out of half slabs, and you want to do it so that there's an opening wherever you plan on planting mushrooms. Now I plan on planting my mushrooms on that block there, that one, that one. So those are the blocks where I'm going to plan on planting my mushrooms, and the rest of the blocks around those are spaces where mushrooms are free to grow. After you've planned out where you're going to plant your mushrooms, you basically want to lay the floor so that there is a gap above where you want to place them. So when you're done, this is what your floor should look like. You just want to keep in mind that you do want to cover up the channel everywhere except for this center block, which is where we're going to get up and down to the collection point. Now also, you want to make sure that you don't put half slabs in these corners here. So if you did, like I did, just for demonstration purposes, just make sure you get rid of those corner pieces, because that's where our water is going to go down. So the reason that we've made our floor out of half stones is that mobs are not able to spawn on them. So this more or less makes our farm mob proof. However, mobs are still able to spawn in these little holes here where we plan on planting our mushrooms. For zombies, that's not such a big problem. We can take those out pretty easily. Skeletons are an issue, as they'll be able to shoot us when we come into our farm, and creepers can be an issue as well. If you come around the corner and there's one in this hole here, chances are he's going to blow up and destroy a whole bunch of your farm. So the way that we're going to make these sections mob proof as well, and add a little bit of aesthetics, is on each of these little joining bits, you're going to place 2 more half slabs. Now, the reason we place 2 instead of 1 is if we place 1, as you'll see here, this creates a too high gap, and mobs are able to spawn here, I'm pretty sure. So just to make 100% sure that it's mob proof, make it place 2 blocks on top of each of these connecting bits. With that done, you now want to place your trap doors over each of the holes except for the ones in the corner. So we've done this for 2 reasons. The first is that this should make it so that mobs are no longer able to spawn in this hole or anywhere around here. And the other reason is so that when you're walking around tending to your farm, you don't accidentally fall into one of these holes, which would then require you to either destroy some of your mushrooms or destroy part of the farm. Next, we're going to take care of the collection point, which is pretty simple. You just jump down into this hole that you've left open, place a pressure plate in the center, and then place a ladder here so you can get out. Finally, we're just going to create an infinite water stream up the back here. Now remember, you can make the stream just with 1 high blocks like this, which would look kind of cool, but that would allow mobs to spawn, so we're going to make it 1 more block up. Just like that. And so now taking water out of the center stream keeps it infinite. All that's left to do now, guys, is plant your mushrooms, knock out these torches around the room, and wait for them to grow. Simple as that. Now, harvesting them is also quite simple. All you need to do is place a water block in these corners here that we left open, which will break the mushrooms and automatically move them to our collection point here. Now, the only downfall that I've found to this system so far is that there is a dead spot in the current here. That's not such an issue. As you saw, all you need to do is move slightly and you'll be able to pick up the mushrooms there. Now, before I head off, I want to just quickly give a shout out to a couple of subscribers who have been really active on my channel recently. The first is Lucas Morgs, another fella from Australia like myself, doing Let's Plays and whatever else. He swears quite a bit, so if you're a little bit sensitive to that, I wouldn't recommend his channel. But other than that, guys, he is quite entertaining and definitely deserves some subscribers and some views. So head over to his channel, take a look at his videos. And the other one is a guy named King Offma. The guy's been sending me a lot of comments and messages and whatever else. So thanks, mate. Keep it up. Look forward to hearing from the rest of you guys. And yeah, just keep the interaction up. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Remember, as I've said, it's not 100% perfect. If you feel on improving on it, go ahead, be my guest. I'd love to see what you guys can come up with. Now, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.